June Sports, what up? Toddy Kid, what up? What's going on? Let's get it. AJ Lino, what up? We are out here and starting a little late, but it is what it is. What's going on with you guys? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Hey, man. It's afternoon now, but it's all good. We are out here just the same. Ready, fresh, I Hanor. What up? Toddy Kid said today in the gym, a woman looks like Sydney Sweeney. She couldn't stop giggling, so I said we should hang, and she gave me her number. There you go. KJ to Don Miles, would you agree there's not just one definition of game? Well, game encompasses all, so all definitions are welcome. Toddy Kid said, direct with 2 lines. There you go. Unspoken, afternoon, big dog. D says, let's get this sweat, Miles. Yes, sir. Leak Brimmer, if they start talking court and nonsense on the first day, should you end it there? Try to influence them to look at things a different way. Well, I mean, if you're having a conversation, have a conversation. But, if y'all don't see things the same way, then there's no reason to continue. How you doing? How you doing? The returning king, yo, what up? How you doing? Hassan, what up? Joe Blast in the building with the links. Make sure y'all go check out the Calendly. Go set your schedule for a consultation. Hassan, how do I check someone for owing me $1,300? The question is, how do you check yourself for lending somebody money that you need? That's check yourself first, Hassan. That's what that's about. Turning King Miles, if I ask you, who are you? How would you answer? Who am I? I'm Miles Cunningham. I don't know what else to tell you. And how you gonna check somebody for owing you money? That don't even make sense. That's just you complaining about money that you gave them that you actually needed. That's all that is. Because you can't really lend money. You're not a bank. You see what I'm saying? You're not a fucking bank, so you can't lend money. And you're not a loan shark, so you can't really lend money. Loans is not your business, so you don't lend money. You gave somebody $1,300. They said they would pay you back, and they haven't paid you back yet. If you really needed that money, why did you give it to them? All right, Honora said, how do we drop the ego? Drop the ego by being grateful and being honest. Be grateful for your life. If you focus on being grateful, it's hard for ego to really play a part. And if you're being honest, it's hard for ego to play a part. Because a lot of ego is cosmetic and surface level. But if you're truly grateful and truly honest, there's really no ego. How you doing? You lent some chick $1,300? Nigga, you ain't never getting that money back. You ain't never getting that fucking money back. You hear me? You lent. Let me find out Hassan is out here simping on the low. Talking about how do you check someone for owing you $1,300. Y'all niggas be simping and don't even realize it. How you doing? Hassan says, Miles, is being grateful only a thing if you're not happy where you're at in life? I'm asking because aren't people who rich ain't thinking about how grateful they are? You think gratitude has something to do with attaining how much money you can attain or anything like that? Gratitude is a chosen voluntary state of mind. It don't matter how much money you have or don't have. You're either grateful or you're not, based on if you choose to be grateful or not. So that's pretty much it. It don't have nothing. You got rich people who are grateful and you have rich people who are ungrateful. You got poor people who are grateful and poor people who are ungrateful. Being grateful don't guarantee that you're gonna be rich, and vice versa. And vice versa. D's, what up? Tidy Kid said, I remember on a different live, a guy said he gave a woman 2,000 and she blocked him as soon as he sent it. Whew. E said, what up, bro? You back out there. Facts. Hassan said, yeah, Miles, this just my opinion, but rich folks ain't thinking about gratitude. It's very humble mindset, and women don't like humble men. Hassan, Hassan, you have a lot of assumptions, man. You're making a whole lot of assumptions. You sitting here assuming what you're here sitting here assuming what rich people is, what's on the minds of rich people. You're making too many assumptions, Hassan. There's too much. There's a lot that you don't know, and you're assuming way too much. Ready Fresh says, do you think that being grateful can ultimately become a copying mechanism? What's a copying mechanism, Ready Fresh? I don't know what that means. Hanor says, Hassan, you trying to find every reason to not be grateful. Maybe focus on what you are grateful for. That's why I tell you guys, understanding is a blessing, not a guarantee. Because I could talk about the power of gratitude and being grateful all day. And then you have somebody like Hassan that come and be like, oh, well, rich people who don't have to be grateful because they rich. You have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking about. Gratitude is not about being rich. Return King Miles, the reason I ask you who you are, because you guys always ask to the callers, I want to know how the fuck to answer that when we are so many things. Well, that's a part of the answer right there. We are so many things. We are so many things. That's a fact. We are a lot of different things. But you see, a question like that, you gotta make the choice for yourself, bro. I can't tell you how to answer that question, because even if I answer the question, and the truth is I did answer the question and you're still confused. So the fact of the matter is I can't tell you how to answer that question. That's the whole thing with the masculine identity. You got to choose it for yourself. Did you sign up for the masculine identity membership for $1 for the first month? Did you do that? I'm giving y'all my fucking membership for $1 for the first month. And so many of y'all is not taking advantage of it. That's a damn shame. I swear to God. Y'all niggas complain about the money so much, but you don't want to take advantage when I'm giving it to you for a fucking dollar. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you can't take action for a fucking dollar, then how is anybody supposed to help you? You see what I'm saying? That's how I know you guys are failing yourselves. Ain't nobody failing you in this life. Ain't nobody holding you back. I'm giving you the information for $1 and you're not taking advantage of it. Come on, man. Y'all niggas play victim, but you're the one making yourself the victim. Ready Fresh said coping mechanism. Coping mechanism. So you're asking if gratitude is a coping mechanism? Well, you could call it a coping mechanism, and you could process based on the definition of a coping mechanism. You could call it that, and you could probably be correct. However, I'll say this: there's a difference between coping and being active in your own mental health and your own perspective. Do you understand? It's one thing to cope, and it's another thing to be voluntary and to take action in your own perspective. So it's like saying every you know, let me see, how do I say this? Every human being with an XY chromosome is male, but not every male is a man. You see what I'm saying? So any way that you decide to any way that you decide to look at life can be considered a coping mechanism. But which coping mechanism is actually going to help you to produce a healthy mindset and a healthy perspective? So yeah, if you want to call gratitude a coping mechanism, by all means, you have every right to call it that technically. But there's a difference between coping and striving. Do you understand? There's a difference between surviving and striving. So there's a difference between somebody who's surviving because every time they're hungry, they could probably climb a tree and eat a fruit so they don't starve to death. And then there's the other man who he eats the fruit, then he takes the seeds, and then he makes his own garden. So now he's not only surviving, but he's striving because he used the seeds of the fruit that he was eating to the fullest potential. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you could call it a coping mechanism if you want, but there's a difference between coping and striving and creating a healthy perspective to live a healthy life. You see what I'm saying? Hassan said, "Listen, Miles, I understand what you mean, but some no, you don't understand what I mean. You don't understand what I mean because if you truly understood what I meant, you wouldn't have there wouldn't be a but to your statement. Period. But sometimes assumptions be right. Is pimp or be pimped out there, and in my opinion, I don't see how being humble is attractive. Exactly. That's how I know you don't totally understand the perspective of gratitude because you're allowing what women find attractive to decide what you think is attractive, homie. Because no, I don't think I didn't read your last statement. Your last statement said that women don't think humble niggas are attractive. Now you're saying in this statement that you don't think being humble is attractive. Why? Because you don't think women think humble niggas is attractive. That's all. So you don't know what I mean. You need coaching. But you one of them cats who you know what you believe what you believe, and that's it. And that's fine. Go ahead and live your life the way you want. You live your life with that perspective and see how far it takes you. I mean, you might do very well for yourself. I'm not saying no, and I'm not wishing bad on you or nothing. Just because we disagree. Like you understand what I'm saying logically because the words I say make sense, but you don't see it. It's not a part of your vision. It's not a part of your mindset, and that's okay. KJ said, Miles, what's the highest level of game or the game to you? I don't think there's such thing. I don't think there's such thing. If you if you start to try to if you start to try to quantify game, then you already missed the point. If you're trying to measure game, you already missed the point. Um, Dave G said, "What up, Miles? Just popped in. You knew you knee deep in game as always. Salute." Uh, KJ said, "The game is endless." Dave G with the fist. Dave G said, "Game is infinite." Exactly. How you doing? A measure of game, trying to figure out the highest level. If you want to say it, the highest level is God. That's the highest level. Ooh. Julio in the building. Exactly. You reach the highest level when you die. All things will be revealed when you die. But I'm going to call it here, guys. Finishing up everything on Instagram. All right. So make sure y'all holler at them.com. Just read the instructions under the video. You'll be straight. And make sure you get your tickets for the Game Kings 2 screening in Miami. Go to my community tab. And the link to the tickets is right there. So yeah, have a great day. Be good to yourself. And remember, the truth is inside you.